How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Hack Slash Over the Rainbow. This is a pretty fun hack slash story. Basically, you get that there's this Wizard of Oz remake that's been shut down after a slasher shows up. Some pretty fun movie antics talking about terrible ideas that might get in people's heads when trying to reboot a classic. But the big thing here is that Georgia actually gets to the scene before Cassie and Vlad and will wind up putting herself in danger when Cassie can do nothing about it. And it does serve the question, can Georgia keep up with Cassie's world? She's obviously getting in danger, she could quite easily die, and you really get to see with this issue, Georgia representing Cassie's ties to a normal, non-slasher hunting life. You can see how she wants this, but can she ever have it? It's some cool stuff to explore, and overall there is a lot to like in here. I like the Wizard of Oz references, I like the movie making references, I like to see Georgia again, and I also like just fun slasher goodness. However, this is one that is just too short. It's only a single issue story, and it would have played up so much better if it was a double, because there's so many cool ideas in here that I really would like more. I would love to see more of this movie set when it's active. I would have loved to see a ton more kills. I would have loved to see just crazy ideas you could do with a kind of hack slash Wizard of Oz crossover. What we got was fun, but I know that if we had more pages, it could have been great. And we also get things like some catch-up and setup pages with the Psychic and with Pooch, and they're good, but again, when the page count is already so low doing a single issue, I'm like, I kind of wish we just stayed in Oz for more of the runtime. Again, a really good book with some really good ideas. It just sucks that this wasn't at least 2 issues, because it really needed 2 issues, because it was a world I was really loving, ideas I was really loving, but we only got a few pages for each idea, and we had to get out of there a little quickly. Overall, I like this story, just wished we got more of it. But I guess if you want to see the story in a little more details, I won't be doing any major spoilers, but in a minute I'll switch over to the close-up camera. I'll show you guys some of the story and some of the art, but I'll try to be avoiding the end bits. Anyway, without further ado, let's switch to the close-up camera. Alright, here we are inside the castle, taking a closer look at Hack Slash Over the Rainbow. Once again, we're going to be reading from Omnibus 2, and looking at the credit line, writer is of course Tim Seeley, and penciler is series regular Emily Stone. This was originally issue number 14. If we flip it to the cover page, I really do love this cover. We get Cassie going down the yellow brick road, but it's all skulls and the trees are torn down, and she's got a hammer and a little Toto Vlad there. That's pretty cool. And of course, evil versions of all of Dorothy's friends. That's creepy. But if we flip to the cover gallery in the back, we can see another pretty fun cover. This is the 14B cover, and we get to see a classically styled illustration of Cassie as Dorothy, and we get that this cover read Hack Slash of Oz. The story is officially called Over the Rainbow, but with this cover being so popular, a lot of people just call it Hack Slash of Oz. Anyway, after that, we get into the story proper. I'm not going to be doing any major spoilers, but I do want to take a bit, look at the art, and talk about a few plot points, so no major spoilers, but let's dive in. We open up with the remake of A Wizard of Oz. We get to see Dorothy there with a little Chihuahua Toto, and then we pull back and it of course is a movie set. We get some good humor with this director here, and he's talking about how there's going to be a lollipop rap because this is a Wizard of Oz for a new modern audience. Yeah, lots of cringy stuff. You know, apparently this director also made Epic Movie 2 and 4 Fast, 4 Furious. Anyway, this guy, who I'm guessing is a PA, is going to go off into the restroom, and of course, something terrible will happen. Note that this says 9 days ago. And this must have been around the time of the coldest dish, because in that story, Georgia first hears about someone dying on the Wizard of Oz set, so a nice little setup for that story. We then cut to present day, and we see Georgia has made it to the movie set, and she's trying to help a little person escape. They're being chased by a slasher, and they're going to have to hide in the crime scene where the guy in the prologue actually wound up dying. And I do like how this, it brings up Georgia again. I like her being in this story, and with her getting herself in trouble, she wants to go in. She's like, this is what Cassie would do. I can do this, but getting kind of over her head because she doesn't really have slasher hunting skills. She's a normal person, and that will really be the question for Cassie's character, is can she maintain a relationship with a normal person? Well, it looks like she's getting herself in trouble, she's getting herself in danger, and Cassie and Vlad are still a while away, and can they get there in time? They're gonna get to the movie set, and after the incident, it will be all abandoned, but they find George's car and realize that she's gone in by herself, and now they have to break in and try to save her, and Cassie's going to get mad because George is in danger and she could die. So yeah, we are really exploring that relationship there. I won't go any farther in that plot, but this does have a few pages of catch-up and setup, which I think we should cover. For example, we get this flashback to Girls Gone Dead, and you're like, wait, why are we here? Why are we seeing this scene again? But it turns out that this is a vision from that psychic we've seen in other catch-up and setup sections, and why she's after Cassie is because she apparently sees Cassie in the role of all these killers. So yeah, what's going to happen with that? We're getting a lot of setup with this psychic, and to finally see, oh, she legitimately thinks that Cassie is every slasher ever? That's really interesting, and I do like that she's wearing her same outfit from the Girls Gone Dead issue. I do wonder why Father Wrath's cross is silver instead of gold, though. That's a little bit weird. And one more page of setup, we do get the world of Neff, where the Neff Lords are mad because they see that Pooch, or as they call him, the lower hell beast, is imprisoned, although we know he's just in a kennel, and we get to see Chris and Lisa arguing there, and they decide that the lower beast should be punished for failing his mission to find Cassie. So we are setting up a return to the Neff characters. Overall, like I said, a pretty good story. I liked the movie-making element. I liked the Wizard of Oz throwback, and when you get the kills, which again, I didn't want to spoil, but some fun Wizard of Oz-themed kills. In fact, when you learn what happened with the killer, it actually ties back to a pretty famous Wizard of Oz legend. And of course, getting to spend more time with Georgia and continuing that question of can Cassie maintain a relationship with a normal person, it's a lot of good stuff, but again, it just feels so cut back from only being able to do one issue, and I really think this would have came across a lot better as a double. Overall, though, still really do like it. Still has some fun elements. I just wish it got more pages, Overall, though, still fun. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my hack slash playlist, where you can find my reviews for a lot of the past issues. Anyway, have a good day. See you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.